Welcome everyone in lecture 20 of unit 3, and we are studying simplification of context free grammar. And a grammar can be simplified by removing useless productions, unit productions and null productions from it. In previous lectures, lecture 18 and 19, we have studied how to remove useless productions and how to remove unit production. In this lecture, we are going to learn the removal of null productions. So first we need to know what is it mean by null production. Null production mean one non-terminal tends to null. Null means this, or we can say one non-terminal tends to epsilon, because epsilon can be written as null. Both means that zero length string, both are same and represented differently in different box. So it can be written as removal of epsilon productions. And we remove the epsilon null productions because it is easy to derive strings from grammar if there is no null productions. And second observation is that null production should be there only when language contain null, or we can say epsilon. So if a language contain epsilon, or we can say epsilon is a string of language, then it should be there. Otherwise we can remove all null productions from a grammar. So we cannot remove s tends to epsilon. Why we cannot remove s tends to epsilon? Because it means that epsilon is a part of language. If we will remove this production, then the language of the simplified grammar will be changed. But the simplification of context free grammar means that language remains same, but the grammar will simplified, grammar will reduce, but language should be remain same. So we cannot remove this production, and or we can remove all production except this. So let us look at the examples. Suppose we have a grammar like that, and a tends to epsilon is a null production, and we want to remove it, and language should remain same. So we need to look carefully where a tends to epsilon can be used. A tends to epsilon can be used at this place. We can get a tends to a, and a tends to epsilon can be used at this place. We can get s tends to a. So what we need to do, we need to write the grammar as it is first, then we need to look where it is used. It is used here. If we will put epsilon here, we can get s tends to a small a. So we need to add s tends to a here, because it should be there in the part of language. A tends to epsilon is used here, so we can get a tends to a. So this will be the new grammar, and language is same. Let us observe how language is same. It production A is used to drive A's closure, repetition of A including epsilon, and it is used, S is used to drive A closure. It means A positive closure. Now look at the new grammar. Capital A is used to drive A positive closure, A double A triple A, and S is used to drive. By putting A closure we will get A positive closure here, and S tends to A, so union of A. Look carefully. This language or this language both are same, because A positive closure contain A double A triple A, and here it's A, and from this part we can get double A triple A 4 times A and so on. So language is same at both places. Now look at another example. S tends to AB, A tends to A slash epsilon, and B tends to BB slash epsilon. So here we have two null productions, A tends to epsilon and B tends to epsilon. So we have to remove it one by one. So removing it one by one, let removing B tends to epsilon. So we need to look where V is used. V tends to epsilon is used here or can be used here. So write the remaining grammar as it is. Remove this production and look what we can get by B tends to epsilon. By putting B tends to epsilon here we can get A. By putting B tends to epsilon here, we can get B. So we have removed B tends to epsilon. Now move to the removal of A tends to epsilon. By removing A tends to epsilon, we can get B here, we can get epsilon here, we can get A here. So write the remaining grammar first. And put A tends to epsilon where it is used. By putting A tends to epsilon here, we can get B here. By putting A tends to epsilon here, we can get epsilon here. By putting A tends to epsilon here, we can get A here. So it is the reduced grammar. Now we have S tends to epsilon, but it cannot be removed because it is the part of the language. It is A closure, it is B closure. So A closure followed by B closure contain the epsilon when both are epsilon. So it should be the part of language. Now you need to observe that by putting by removing the null production you can get unit productions. So if question is asked for the simplification of context free grammar, you need to remove these unit productions, and if question is about removal of null production you can leave it, and it is the final answer. Now look at another example. S tends to ABA and A tends to AA slash epsilon and B tends to BB slash epsilon. And here also we have two null productions and we can remove them one by one. Suppose removing B tends to epsilon. So look where B is used, B can be used here and B can be used here. So first write the remaining grammar as it is. We have removed b tends to epsilon, and now we will put the epsilon at the places of b. B is used, b epsilon is can be used here. We can get a. Epsilon can be used here. We can get b. Now removing a tends to epsilon. A tends to epsilon we are going to remove, so we need to look where a tends to epsilon can be used. A tends to epsilon can be used here, can be used here, can be used here, can be used here, can be used here. So first write the remaining grammar. Now look where a tends to epsilon can be used. It can be used here, so we can get BA. It can be used here, we can get AB. It can be used at both places, so we can get S tends to B. It can be used here, we can get A. It can be used here, we can get A. A is already written. It can be used at both places, so we can get S tends to epsilon also by putting epsilon at both places. So while we have more than one A, so we need to take care, first put at one place, then other place, then both places. So it will be the remaining grammar. So we can, and a tends to epsilon can be put here also, we can get a here. So it will be the remaining grammar after removing the null productions. And you need to observe that after removing the null production we can get unit production, and previously in previous lecture we have seen after removing unit production we can get useless production. So in the case of simplification of grammar, we need to first remove this null production, because after removing null production we can get unit production. Then we need to remove unit production, because after removing unit production we can get useless production. So order should be followed in this way, from the null production to the useless production. So remember, when question is asked for the simplification of context free grammar, you need to follow this order. So this is all okay for the lecture 20, and up to this lecture from unit 2 is the syllabus of CT2. Thanks for attending the lecture.